We are at JA Manfaru here in the Maldives.
We've had an amazing 4 days in this incredible remote paradise, and we can't wait to tell you everything you need to know before you book. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Max.
I'm Marin.
We're Voyager Group. We post weekly videos with travel tips, hotel reviews, and videos from some of our favorite destinations around the world. So if you don't already, consider subscribing. And of course, if you like this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up. It really helps our videos get more exposure and produce more videos just like this. So let's jump right into our review. Our first category is location.
Location will rate 5 stars. JA Manfaru is the most northern hotel in the Maldives. It is incredibly remote and there's absolutely nothing around us.
If you look at JA's website, they say that it's like the Maldives of 30 years ago, and that's actually pretty accurate. There's really nothing else around here except a couple small local islands that are pretty sparsely populated. There's really only one island that you can see in the distance that is populated, and it's pretty far away.
Unlike a lot of the new development closer to Malé, this is a natural island and it is stunning. There are banyan trees everywhere and the gardens are so lush. It really does feel like a completely different place.
The island itself is so incredibly lush and dense and has this beautiful white sand beach, gorgeous water, and unfortunately, our entire stay, it was pretty much raining. We are here on the early side of low season right now, and although it doesn't typically rain the way it does right now, we did get a little bit unlucky, and we have had nothing but rain. But even in the rain, it has just been such a gorgeous island and such a gorgeous property. And one of the coolest parts is when you look out at all these other islands surrounding it, there's 9 or 10 islands that you can see that are just beautiful tropical islands. Most of them have no structures on them whatsoever, including one that's just right off the property that's beautiful, white sand beach, palm trees. It looks like the perfect castaway island, and it's actually where they do some of their castaway remote dining. Our second category is lobby and check-in.
Lobby and check-in we rate 4 stars. While the island itself is beautiful and is perfect and remote, that also means that it is really far from Malé. Being in the northernmost section of the Maldives, it does take quite a haul to get here. When you land at the airport in Malé, you're taken to a shared domestic VIP lounge while you await the transfer north to Hanimadu. That flight to Hanimadu is 45 minutes, and after that, you're taken to a boat that is also a 45-minute boat ride. The journey is certainly worth it, but it is not for the faint of heart on a rough day.
Another thing to note about those flights is because they are domestic flights and not seaplanes, they're not actually dependent on guests that are staying at the hotel or surrounding hotels and their arrivals. It is just a regular domestic flight, so you have people that are accessing all parts of the country. And so because of that, there are set flight times, and those flight times can be a little bit limiting depending on when you're arriving. You may have to spend a longer period of time waiting in Malé for that domestic flight to actually take off. And so there is the potential that timing issues could happen on both your arrival and your departure, where you end up spending roughly 5 or 6 hours waiting for those flights to take off.
The hotel does recommend letting them know well in advance of your flight times arriving into Malé and departing from Malé so that they can plan your itinerary the best way possible. If you haven't booked your international flights yet, I would also recommend reaching out to the hotel in advance so they can give you those flight times so you can pick the best flight times to arrive and depart from Malé.
Once we arrived here on property, the experience was nothing but 5 stars. So we got off the boat on the jetty, we were met with cold towels and a welcome drink, and we were escorted to our rooms where we were checked in the room. It was a late evening, so we were able to order room service in our room. The check-in process was done in our room. As we were seated, they took our passports, checked us in. It was a really smooth process once we arrived here on the island. Our third category is rooms.
Rooms we rate 5 stars. This hotel has a benefit of having pools in every single room, including the base level rooms. And every room on this property has an amazing location and amazing amenities.
We had the opportunity to tour nearly every room type here on property, and we were actually able to stay in 2 different really fantastic rooms while we were here on property. One, which was their deluxe beach villa with a pool, which just honestly was a gorgeous room all around. Incredible, beautiful bathroom, beautiful lounging space with a gorgeous pool at the back with an incredible amount of privacy and waterfalls. Hearing the sound of the water trickle all night from those waterfalls it was such a cool experience. And then the room was so well laid out. It had a really nice sitting area in the front, great access to the beach and the balcony area, and then a really nice, comfortable, large bed, beautiful accent lighting in the ceiling, and so many accents of natural wood and a really nice style.
I loved the privacy of the deluxe pool villa, and don't be fooled by the name on the website. I think they call it a family pool villa. It's actually incredibly romantic. There's even a jetted round tub in the middle of the bathroom, and while it's certainly certainly considered to be a little extra. It's an amazing tub, and it really does make for an amazing honeymoon. I'm not entirely sure that I would pick this room if I was a family, just based on the fact that it is such a romantic and private experience, and it is one of their highest tier rooms as well.
Another really cool room type here is their overwater villas. They have this gorgeous living room that has glass on two sides. You have this like corner glass view that looks out at the ocean, and even on a really rainy, stormy day, it kind of provides this perfect sanctuary. It feels really homey, and you're still able to look out at this insanely gorgeous view even on a stormy day.
The bathroom, like with many of our favorite Maldives hotels, is my personal favorite part of the rooms. The bathroom is kind of this indoor-outdoor concept where you are still inside and it's extremely private and luxurious, but you still have a lot of airflow and access to the outdoors. The shower has a slatted wood wall that is encased in glass, and the toilet room is the same. So it kind of feels like you're outdoors, but it's this amazing luxury experience inside.
Lastly, they do have several residences here on property, including a 2 and a 3 bedroom beach residence, and then their 2 bedroom water residence. We actually had the opportunity to spend 2 nights here at the ocean residence, and it's so cool.
This is by far my favorite room on this property. We are at the very end of the jetty, and it is completely symmetrical. When you walk into the room, you have this gorgeous living room that looks directly out at the water and the Castaway Island in the distance. There's 2 bedrooms set to either side of the villa, as well as a half bath, as well as a pantry / kitchenette area based off of the living room. And the 2 bedrooms are identical. They both have beautiful king beds, amazing storage space, as well as the same overwater bathroom with the outdoor and indoor shower, beautiful jetted tub that looks out at the view, and access to the deck. The deck is also symmetrical. There's a beautiful round swimming pool in the center of the deck, as well as many lounge areas. There's 2 kind of more private lounge areas off the bedrooms, as well as the central point in the living room. And while we were here, the weather was absolutely terrible, but yet we spent a lot of time outside relaxing in the daybed because it is covered.
Relaxing in this daybed was one of the best parts of these stormy, rainy days. We were able to sit there while it rained and look out at this incredible island across the way that we were talking about earlier. It's just this beautiful, uninhabited Castaway Island, and just watch the storms roll in. That was honestly one of the coolest parts. Unfortunately, because of the storms, we don't have nearly the outdoor footage that we would have liked from this property, but you can go check it out on their website. They have a lot of good photography of the actual villas. Unfortunately, it wasn't the time for us to be able to do it. We got a little bit unlucky with the weather, but trust us when we say that even in the stormiest of weathers, this room, this property, all the rooms, honestly, it just really blew us away. Our 4th category, service.
Service, we rate 4.5 stars. Every single staff member that we met on property has been incredible. They're so kind, they're so helpful, and they'll literally run through pouring rain to get you just about anything. Everyone does get assigned a butler who manages multiple rooms, and our butler, Ghani, was incredible. He was literally always around when we needed him, and never more than a minute or 2 away. He's incredibly helpful, patient, kind, and all of the butlers that we saw were basically the same. In general, the butler service does get you access to make reservations at restaurants, the spa. They basically manage your itinerary, and they are always available via WhatsApp. I don't know when our butler slept, but we spent a lot of late nights and early mornings, and he was always around.
There's a good mix of staff who have been here for many years here on property, all the way up through multiple management groups until now with JA that are coming from all kinds of different surrounding areas and bring in a good mix of service experience.
Staff in the restaurants are amazing. It does not feel at all like this hotel is understaffed in any way. There are always multiple staff members running around, supporting guests, getting drinks, clearing tables, and it all around was a really positive experience with dining. This property does offer an all-inclusive option as well as a bed and breakfast option, so there is a little bit of confusion at times around who's on all-inclusive, what they're entitled to, and some of the service experiences around dining.
Keep in mind we were here during a low occupancy time of year, and so as they have higher occupancy, there may or may not be fluctuations in the service. As we did see some restaurants get a little busier, obviously the staff was slightly less attentive because they were attending to everyone else, but it was still a really high level of service.
The property does also offer twice daily housekeeping. They do a daily housekeeping in the morning that always seems to be perfectly timed to when you're out of the room, as well as a turn down on request. We always request turn down, and we absolutely love turn down, and we think they did a great job overall.
The service here on property is honestly so close to being perfect, to being 5 stars, if not for just a couple misses, a couple small things, but we honestly had such a fantastic experience, and our butler, Ghani, as Marin said, literally did everything he could possibly do to make this trip incredible. And even with the rain, which I think was one of those things that they really can't control and there's nothing that they can do about it, they went above and beyond to try and create experiences for us that allowed us to make the most out of the days, even though it was raining, including setting up a Formula One race for us in their movie theater, which was just such a cool experience.
They do offer a lot of experiences on property, and they are very creative about it. While there are kind of options that you can select from, like a movie under the stars, they're very flexible when it comes to changing those things, whether it's weather or preferences of the guests. So, for example, our movie night under the stars turned into a movie night in our second bedroom, and it was so beautifully set up and decorated. It was just a really nice service experience.
Our fifth category is dining.
Dining, we rate 5 stars. Every meal experience on property, including the first night, late night room service order we had, has been truly incredible.
The head chef here on property is actually Maldivian, and because of that, there is so much great Maldivian food and Maldivian influence across the food. I really think that of the properties that we've stayed at, this is one of the ones that's really leaned in the most into Maldivian culture and really kind of embraced the fact that there is fantastic food coming from the Maldives, but it can be incorporated into other cuisines as well. Outside of the Maldivian food, the traditional options have also been fantastic as well. Breakfast is a great example of that. I had eggs Benedict on the first day and it was fantastic, as well as all of their breads and croissants. In particular, their pastries, and their pastry chef has really done a fantastic job of creating beautiful pastries. They have beautiful juices every morning. The breakfast is also a champagne breakfast, so you can order Prosecco, mimosas, Bellinis, and they do have fantastic espresso that they make here, as well as just a plethora of fruits and other dining options, and a bunch of traditional Arabic, Indian, or Maldivian options as well.
Breakfast is served in their main restaurant, Kukuni. There's also other options for lunch and bars throughout the day. Lunch is served at Kukuni as well as Andiamo. Andiamo is kind of like an Italian, Mediterranean style restaurant surrounding one of the most beautiful pools that I think I've ever seen in the Maldives. Very tropical, very beautiful, with great pizza. They also have something called the White Orchid Lounge. It's an overwater bar and restaurant that opens around 3 p.m. for high tea, as well as a sundowners experience in the evenings with cocktails, tapas, and even main courses like poke bowls, chicken satay, and more.
For dinner, you also have several options ranging from just having light bites at the White Orchid to going to Kukuni, and their fine dining option at the Ocean Grill, which was fantastic. They actually have an entire outdoor live lobster tank they fill with local fishermen that have come in with the daily catch. Unfortunately, there was not nearly as much fresh catch as usual because of the stormy weather that we've had, but the meal that we had was fantastic. The food preparation was gorgeous, and it's just such an incredible setting. You're sitting under these beautiful pagodas, really nice, subtle, gorgeous lighting, and during good weather, you can actually sit out on the beach, toes in the sand, which you know we love if you watch anything on our channel. It's a really beautiful restaurant experience.
They of course also have room service all day and all night, which is always an option, particularly in these beautiful villas. One of my favorite concepts that's become very popular in the Maldives is this dining by design idea, where guests can either select from a list of options of where to have dinner or even make up their own. So if you find a spot on property that you like, they can serve you dinner there. It is an added charge to have these experiences, and we were able to try their cellar experience on our last night, which was truly amazing. It's such an amazing experience to be able to dine somewhere different all by yourself. Each of the different locations that they have preset menus for do vary depending on the location. As we were in the cellar, which is truly one of the most spectacular things I've ever seen, with a 7-course option, and this is their highest end option on property. The cellar itself is unbelievable. It's the first and still the deepest subterranean wine cellar in the Maldives, and it is just this adorable little house that you walk into before you descend these stairs into a stone circular room, and it was just truly amazing, mind-blowing. The experience itself guides you through a series of rooms, so you start in a smaller room with some canapes and champagne, and if you do the wine pairing option, the wine pairing does go with each course, where you get a full glass and you certainly get your money's worth. And overall, it was just an incredible experience to have a private waiter, this private room that's just honestly gorgeous and could have been anywhere in the world.
It was really one of the coolest dining experiences that we've ever had. They say that it books out every single night that they have guests, no matter how low their occupancy is, and so it really doesn't surprise me at all. I think it's a fabulous experience. If you are coming to stay at this property, it's definitely something not to be missed. breakfast.
And keep in mind that that room is yours for the evening. They were practically begging us to stay longer, but we had to get to our movie. It's an amazing experience to get to just relax, enjoy your meal, and spend the evening there without feeling rushed out.
Our sixth category is facilities.
Facilities, we rate 5 stars. This property has everything. They have an incredible spa, water sports center, multiple beaches, places to explore on your own, and a list of activities that range from rainy weather days to sunny days. Just an incredible amount of stuff to do on property.
Typically, if you watch a lot of our videos, you'll know we'll highlight a lot of the activities that you do in sunny weather. But because most of what we did this trip was actually rainy weather, it was really great to see all the facilities that they did have for those days. They have an indoor movie theater, they have multiple game rooms, a museum, a marine biology center, a kids center. If you're here with kids, there's plenty of activities for kids and a great place to go with them to play, or they do also offer a babysitting service. There's also a great gym here on property that overlooks the water. We actually got to go there several times this time, and we got to participate in their morning yoga, which is a beautiful sunrise yoga. They have an interior space that you can do yoga in, as well as an exterior space. And then across property, they have so many different areas. They have a beautiful infinity pool at the Horizon Pool area, as well as Mary mentioned earlier, Andiamo, the restaurant, has such a cool like jungle pool with waterfalls, and that was a really cool experience too.
The spa is incredible. It is a very large spa, and I was really excited to try it because everything on property has this very spa zen vibe to it, and it did not disappoint. They have 10 treatment rooms, and not only do they have all the traditional massages and facials experiences, they also have a number of journeys that guests can book where they include a scalp massage or 15-minute meditation before the massage, relaxation areas, and a lot of hotels in the Maldives seem to lack the amenities or the facilities that a lot of spas in like Mexico and the Caribbean have. This was a great option if you are into spas because they do have a steam and sauna for both women and men, as well as a nice pool relaxation area.
There's also some cool hidden spots on property, like the banyan tree garden that is just like this incredible banyan tree. They've opened up the foliage around it, and it's a great place to hang out, relax. And in general, as we mentioned, this property just is so lush that a lot of these spaces that they have are just surrounded with this incredible jungle, and it just gives it this beautiful, peaceful vibe.
Each room does come with bicycles as well, so they have adult bikes as well as kids bikes. They're super high quality, fat tire bikes, and they're really nice to run around with on property. They do try to limit how many buggies are out. Obviously, if you require a buggy or request one, they are more than happy to come and pick you up, but they tried to minimize how many buggies are jetting around you to really make it a peaceful experience to guests to explore on their own.
In better weather, they also have an amazing amount of water activities here, from jet skiing to scuba diving, and they even have kite surfing equipment here on property. I was so bummed not to be able to do that while we were here, but between the paddle boards, the kite surfing, the windsurfing, they have really almost anything you can think of, and typically the water's super flat here. They even have wakeboarding, water skiing, other water sports that you can participate in as well. Our seventh final category is style.
Style, we rate 4.5 stars. This property went through a couple of different management groups, originally being built by a Maldivian company. So the property itself is incredibly lush and grown in because it's been so long since they were constructed. For a short stint, this property was the Waldorf Astoria that brought a lot of luxury elements into this hotel. When JA took over the hotel, they did a number of renovations to really Maldivianize and modernize a lot of the facilities and amenities, particularly in the rooms. The new wooden elements and the colors that they've introduced are just stunning. We absolutely love the rooms and the style that JA has brought into this hotel.
Before this hotel was the JA or the Waldorf Astoria, it was known as the Beach House, and I think that really comes through in the style of the furniture, both outdoors and indoors. It has such a beautiful natural wood style to it. Everything is so beautifully handcrafted, from coffee tables to chairs, and so interesting. Nothing looks like anything that is mass produced. It is all one-of-a-kind furniture that is just beautiful and Maldivian, and they're taking so many of the things that were originally kind of painted over in black, and they're restoring them to kind of their natural wood color, and they're doing that across all the rooms, and I think it looks so good if you compare kind of what the look is of the overwater huts that are a little bit darker and blacker, which was more of the Waldorf style, and then some of the new style where they're really bringing in this light colored wood and refinishing the rooms, really brightening them up a lot and giving this kind of Maldivian wood feeling. I think they've done a really good job with that.
And a lot of the furniture is so massive and comfortable. The couches are totally totally oversized, and it's just amazing to be able to lounge anywhere, particularly at White Orchid Lounge, which is one of their newer outlets. The comfort of the chairs and the surroundings, I mean, we spent the whole night there, and it's just really nice to be able to enjoy and relax in a comfortable place. They also really nailed the vibe here. The music in the morning is kind of a zen, spa-like music. As you move into the afternoon, you get kind of more upbeat music, but still super chill and cool. And in the evenings, they have live entertainment or relaxing dinner music, and it's just very well done.
There's nothing flashy or eccentric about this property. It feels homey but beautiful. It feels like this perfect beach retreat. And honestly, they haven't gone over the top with the decor. They've kept it really simple. They've let the kind of design of these rooms speak for themselves, and I think that that's one of the areas that they've really gone right here.
They are still working on some renovations, particularly in public areas like restrooms at the restaurants. So they are still lacking in some of the modern amenities or facilities or look there. However, I know that is something they're actively working on. So we look forward to coming back.
Just like how remote this island is, one of the things that they've done, which I really like as well, is they've really kept the lighting to a minimum here. This island has some of the lowest light pollution that I've seen from any property that we've been to in the Maldives. They've really kept the lighting super, super subtle, and it just allows it to have this really natural, calm feeling at night.
Overall, we rate this property 4.7 stars. This has been an amazing experience, and we honestly had no idea what to expect coming so far north in the Maldives, but we will absolutely be back, and we cannot recommend it enough.
I certainly think that it is worth the journey, although I do think that the hotel could do a lot to improve that journey. Hopefully that's something that we see in the future.
So if you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up.
And of course, if you don't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We'll be posting many more videos from here in the Maldives, as well as destinations around the world.
And if you follow us on Instagram, you will have already seen this entire stay play out in our stories and on our feed. So if you don't already, be sure to follow us at Voyager Guru.
Lastly, if you are planning a trip here to the Maldives, be sure to go check out our website at voyagerguru.com, where we have tons of information about various hotels in the Maldives, as well as booking information, helpful tips, and a lot more.
And as always, I'm Marin.
And I'm Max.
And we're Voyager Guru. See you out there.